My name's Laurena. I am 21 years old and I'm currently a student at the University of Ottawa. I am studying towards a Bachelor in Fine Arts, specializing in painting, oil and acrylic and collage. And I do dabble a little bit into photography because a lot of the work that I do is representational. So I work a lot with imagery and people, as well as, for me, it's very important to document the Haitian diaspora, and a lot of the work that I do is based on that, and that's also my audience, which is why I think there's also a big lack of the archive when it comes to this community, especially in Canada. When it comes to the piece that I've actually brought here with me today, it's a piece that's very close to my art. I've done it about 2-3 years ago. It's very different from the type of practice that I'm doing right now, because it's much more personal. And also how I did it is in a much more Robert Rauschenberg-esque type of style than what I usually do, which right now I'm working much more with oil and painting and acrylic than collage, because this is entirely made out of paper and pictures as well. I was also very interested in Anique Crosby when I started to look into this piece and I started to make the research. So she works a lot with family pictures and photos, and I really wanted to start looking through my own archive and to see what my own history was about, and that's how this picture and this piece came to be. It also started when I started to talk with my grandmother more about her wedding, and she told me how she lost all of her pictures and photos from the event in a house fire about 30 years ago, back in '80. And that made me think, how would it be for me to recreate that moment through her memories and creating the only artifact of it through my own practice. And I started to use pictures of my family, my mom, my dad, myself, because of course the wedding of my grandmother was kind of like the catalyst for all of this to have happened today. And I have a lot of passion and a lot of interest in this relation between the past and the present, and that's how it really came to be. The name of the piece is Here Comes La Mariée, because I try to really use in my titles, because I am Haitian, I like to use Creole, French, and English to really be able to speak to different audiences. And I think it really talks also to my identity in general. Since I am born here as a Black Canadian woman, I think there's a lot of that goes with like this duality and always having to be in between the two worlds and always having to address the two worlds, because one world is not always going to be able to understand exactly where my practice is coming from, while the other might understand but don't have access to it necessarily. So I always want to have the two when it comes to my titles to really be able to address it. Today I'm going to be discussing two particular events in history that are very close to me, which the first one is going to be the Black Wimmin, so women spelled W-I-M-M-I-N, and the Feast, which was a recent performance that happened at the AGO in Toronto in 2019. The Black Wimmin exhibition happened in 1989, and it was actually the first Black women exhibition done by Black women. 11 artists around the country got reunited and did this entire exhibition, as well as it was created by the DAWA, which was the Diasporic African Women Art Collective, and they were the one that created the entire thing. In 2019 was the 38th anniversary, and it got celebrated by this organization, which was created by Anique in Toronto, which is an artist and a curator. And she decided to have over 100 women artists, Black women artists, get together at the AGO and just have a big supper and take place and space in an institution like the AGO, which is really strict and by the canon. So to me, I think it really resonates because it really just creates this instinct link between the past and now, and how a lot of what Black women have been doing into Canadian history has been erased over time. And I think that we're doing so much. It's really nice as a Black Canadian artist to see this unfold right now, because it is history, and I am seeing it unfold under my eyes. I am talking to other artists right now that are doing these amazing things that go unnoticed by others that maybe are not so interested into the world or into what it is about. But in 30 years from now, it's still going to be talked about. And I think, to me, that's why it is so precious to know about this event and what they're doing right now. For more information, click the links in the description box.